Hi everyone. In today's daily answer writing practice of industrial geography, we'll be discussing about two questions. Question number one, critically analyze the role of MNC in India's economic development with suitable examples. Right. So the question has a couple of theme words. One is critical analysis, so both positives and negatives has to be there. MNC, not India's MNC. The any MNC can be discussed with respect to it, and economic development. Right. So within this, have this in mind if you wanted to frame an answer. No, there are local companies which has been available, which can do something and which may not be able to do some things, and that MNC alone can be able to do some things. Think in that particular aspect. And you have multiple household names of MNCs has been come across with respect to it. Take any MNC and then discuss with respect to it. For this questions, map marking or analysis cannot be given. So this question requires value addition of case studies, right? That's an important thing. Coming back to the answer. So the positive side will be foreign direct investment will be coming up. For example, you will be able to say Google, just the largest amount of largest company outside its headquarters is present in the Hyderabad regions. So you'll be able to speak similarly, like this case study kind of instances can be provided, right, over the entire area. One, FDI into India, so increased capital stock will be there, which will boost economic growth. Growth of new kinds of industries, biotechnological industries, biocon-like industries, biohealth kind of industries, bioenergetic industries on one side. Other side, you do have aeronautics. In the recent time periods, we do have a large number of service sectors, industries has been come across with respect to all these new kinds of industries were possible only because MNC entered into the regions. There's an increase in growth, reduction of the property, so income of it improves the economic per capita. There's also a technology transfers. We can speak with respect to how EVS technology has come, or else you take the basic of it because of the presence of MNC like Code, Volkswagen, Honda. All these people came into the country. There is a technology transfer for automobile growth has been increased with respect to it. There's a management practices. For a longer period of time, we had only public sector undertakings largely. And one of the major issue of public sector undertakings, certain number of public sector undertakings are management practices. Whereas the corporate style is being brought in by the MNCs. Global standards have been brought in by the MNCs, which increases the productivity and efficiency towards the regions. Then development of infrastructure, where is a high amount of connectivity and transportation, increase in connectivity has been done. So the transportation cost has been largely reduced. So you can connect the Webber also here. It's facilitated trade. Service sector, we have been largely facilitating trade with respect to the industrial development. Petrochemical refineries has been taken to the other parts of the world. We do have manufacturing sectors of automobiles moves produced here and taken to the entire South Asian regions. Automobiles has been, two-wheelers has been taken to other parts of the world. So multiple pharmaceutical industries India has been taken with respect to other parts of the world. You can give any instances. You can speak about Sun Pharma. You can speak about Johnson and Johnson. You can speak about any particular MNC in each and every sector, right? It also facilitates the trade and competitiveness. On the negative side, for the critical analysis, one, exploitation of the natural resources has been done. Any iron ore industry, mining industry, or iron and steel industry, or a bauxite industry, manganese industry, any industry can be taken and speak with respect to it. There's a large amount of virtual water. Post 1990s, you will be able to see one thing: the developed regions of the world are not producing any industrial development or agricultural development, which takes a large amount of water, which has moved to the developing countries, let it be automobile sector, textiles and apparels largely, sugarcane cultivation. All this water has been taken with respect to it. So exploitation of water, environment degradation, which harms the local communities as well. We have been seeing large number of protests here and there at time periods with respect to against the MNCs that the local communities has been affected with respect to it as well. So that can be negative impact on MSME. Because these MNCs can be a global players. They come with respect to the regions and they completely monopolize the entire sector, and that can have a negative impact with respect to MNCs. You can speak with respect to how this went on with respect to, say, telecommunications. You can speak with respect to it. At one point of time, Aircel was there. Vodafone came into the regions. You can also speak about the MNCs of present-day telecommunications of Bharti Airtel, Jio, right? Labor exploitations. Artificially, either they will inflate or deflate the price to minimize the tax, and tax evasions has been taking place. This will affect the income to the government, which will be a loss to the exchequer, right? And MNCs invest in urban. MNCs has been largely investing in the urban setups, largely investing already in the existing development areas. So it affects the regionally already existing regional imbalances are available in the country. It further increases. So because the MNCs have been present in the urban areas, large amount of full migration takes place to the cities, and associated with respect to increase in cost of the land, urbanization problems, slum issues, all those has been there. And larger sections of the people have been attracted to the Western culture, which is against with respect to the Indian set of values and traditions, corruption, more importantly, has a negative impact on the sustainable and inclusive growth. Moving to the question number 2, right? Discuss the salient features of industrial complex of Western India. Examine the impact of special economic policy on the regions. All you need to know is only two things. One, the industrial complex names in the western parts of the country, and also the sum of the special economic zones, which is very basic, right? So number one, high concentration of industrial corridor. For example, take in Gujarat with respect to the regions, you can speak about Ahmedabad, Vadodara Industrial Complex, Gujarat Industrial Development Corporation, Dholera special investment region, which is also a special economic zone. Surat Navsari Industrial Complex region. Surat is a special economic zone. Valsad Umargan Industrial Complex. Dahej petrochemical, chemicals, petroleum investment regions, which is again a special economic zone. So you will be able to see industrial corridors are highly concentrated in the regions in the western part compared with respect to the other regions. And also take Maharashtra and speak with respect to Mumbai, Pune, Nashik, Ahmednagar. You can be able to speak with respect to the regions. I have just taken an example of Gujarat. That's it. And geographical proximity towards the oil-rich regions of Gulf regions, Persian Gulf, the Strait of Hormuz, or the Northern African regions, all these places, right? So that is the reason why we have close to more than the 30% of petrochemical refineries and refined products comes from the Gujarat regions. Next, Maharashtra regions. Large comes from the western coast itself, because of the proximity. Third, petrochemical refineries being the source of raw material to the associated industries like pharmaceutical, fertilizer industries, fertilizer industries, synthetic textile industries, plastic industries. Some products has been taken for paint industry, also pharmaceutical industries. Agglomeration of industries will be taking place with respect to the regions. Large number. For example, you can speak about Mangaluru port, how this has been a case with respect to agglomeration of industries. Or Cochin can be taken as an Cochin industrial complex can be taken as an agglomeration of industries. Or the NH that connects from Ahmedabad to Valsad regions. So agglomeration of industries has been taking place with respect to the regions. We'll be able to speak. Port and port-led industrial development complexes have been there. For example, Kandla will be there, Dwarka will be there, Oka will be there in Gujarat regions. Same goes on with respect to Goa. Multimodal transport system. You can take any examples. For example, the finest would be Mumbai regions. That's the reason I took Gujarat in the earlier to give Maharashtra here. Multimodal transport networks. You will have road transport, railway transport, air transport, and also the port transport networks will be available in the regions. Infrastructure and the communication regions. So you will have well-established national highways, seamless internet connectivity, water resources, electricity. Apart from that, you will industrial corridor, Mumbai, Delhi, transport corridor will be available. So this associates again with respect to the characteristics, right? Supply chain industries and large number of MSMEs which has been supporting. For example, you can take a Pune as an automobile sector hub can be taken. Pimpri, Chindwara regions can be there. How supply chain industries has been associated, supporting the automobile industries in the regions, pharmaceutical industries in the regions. Presence of the financial capital and the state capitals also has been largely attracting towards the area. Because of all these reasons, there's a large pool of skilled labor and semi-skilled labor to the regions, which fulfills the needs of the industrial development to the replace. And the government policies. That is what the second part of the question is, how the government policies is being taken place. Not about the government policies, its impact. Still, the negative can be discussed. Because of all these reasons, high population density will be the environmental pollution, traffic congestions, problems of urbanization, sustainable and inclusive growth. This just mentioned in a paragraph or slightly more than one paragraph, not more, right? Okay. And coming back to the second question, examine the impact of special economic policy on the regions. The question is very clear. Impact alone has to be discussed. With respect to the impact of the special economic zones, whatever we have discussed for the previous questions, which was asked in a different year of UPSC, will be an answer. For example, think about it. We'll go back to the same question and answer. Impact of special economic zones. Because of the presence of special economic zones, foreign direct investments and large amount of investment came to the regions. Capital stock has been increased. New kinds of industries has been brought into it. For example, Kalakulam, Karakutam in Thiruvananthapuram is a special economic zones for animation industries is available. You can mention it. Belgaum areas, engineering goods have been there. Mysore, Karnataka regions of Mysore, Mangaluru regions, Belgaum areas, Kochi areas, all these places, Malappuram regions, food processing industries can be taken. Jobs, all these points, whatever we have discussed already, these points can be taken with respect to it, right? Both the positives and negatives. So answer gets triple gated. note that question number 1 is asked in a different year in UPSC. Question number 2 is asked in a different year in the UPSC. So you won't feel that repetition of question has been taking place, right? Repetition of answer has been taking place. Question for tomorrow, examine the significance of ecotourism in relation to socio-economic development, one, and the biodiversity conservation, right? Number 2, what are the characteristics of blue flag certified beaches? Discuss their significance for beach tourism in India. The question number 2 has been asked in a year when India got recognized for the blue flag certified 8 beaches in the country, right? So it was more of a current affairs based question will be there. And as been discussed in the very first day of industrial geography orientation itself, we discussed that within tourism, ecotourism is given the larger importance. Right? Thank you. See you tomorrow.